Hey guys, welcome to 2026, our first episode of Venture with Joe and Cody of the new year. I am Joe with eXp Realty and Cody with Residential Mortgage.
Hello there.
What's up, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How you doing?
Good. We've had a couple week break from each other, and now we're back at it. We were consistent last year with these things, and
We
I
did
think we're
really
gonna
well.
keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
your New
people
Year's
want
been
it.
good. Your
So
Christmas been good.
actually, yeah, it was really nice. It was all pretty well spread out, and we got two birthdays mixed in between December 31st and January 3rd. So my
Oh,
wife's
yowza.
birthday and then daughter's birthday and Christmas and everything. So it was, a busy month or so, but now
Yeah,
we're kind of like we've successfully made it through and it went really well. Everything felt like it was spread out and not chaotic, so
good.
can't complain. Yeah.
That's really good.
You?
Yeah, it was good. Ours was like no kids were sick, no people were sick. Like I got a little sick, but you know how it goes when everyone kind of dies down, like and school's over and all the bodies kind of like shut
Oh
down a
yeah.
little bit, and we're just like then everyone gets flooded with a flu or whatever. So we were very thankful we didn't get anything bad. I was kind of feeling a little under the weather at certain points, but that's life. But yeah, I'm ready to get back into it. It's a very hard struggle. These last couple of days we've been getting up at 6:30 for Cora's
Yeah.
school, and we have not been getting up at 6:30 for the last like 2.5 3 weeks. So it's been hitting hard. I went to bed yesterday, and Rory like super early, and Rory's like, "You're going to bed?" Like I was like, "Dude, it wore me out. Like
Yes, I'm old.
the days wear me out of getting up at 6:30. Once I get in the routine, I can kind of do it all, but I was
Yeah.
like, this week you got to give me a break, man. I'm like, I'm done."
Dude, it's
Um,
it's tough. It's
yeah,
tough. I
it is.
usually will I usually get up at 6 even when I don't have to,
Uh-huh.
but over Christmas break there were mornings where I'm like, I don't need to do anything, so I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. And
Yeah. Well, that's good.
felt nice.
You're already motivated to stay up. I think when you have two kids that sleep in traditionally, if they don't have school, it's just
Yeah.
easy to sleep in, and it just creeps. It's like, okay, 6:30 to 7, and then 7 to
Uh-huh.
7:30. You're just like,
Yes.
okay, now it's just getting later and later. And then we get smacked in the face this week to take
I
them to
know.
school at 6:30 again. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did your kids run into, which I know they did, this is a stupid question to ask, but did they, like Saturday night, Sunday night, that feeling of like, oh, I got to go back to school, and then I know that's how ours were. It's like,
Yeah.
no, do I really have to go back to school?
Yeah, we have a tale of
Yeah.
two kids with us. Cora's super excited. She's like
Oh,
wants to
really?
see her friends, loves being back. It's the elementary school kind of like
Yeah.
go back and play
School's
with
fun.
friends and see all the new toys they got and the new clothes,
Yeah.
and Rory's
Get to
like
say hi to my teacher again.
Rory has zero interest. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I picked up him and his friend the other day, the first day of school. I was like, how was it? We talked to Cora and she had a good time. And they're like, it was
Uh-huh.
boring. Like, all we do is
Yeah.
just sit around. I'm like, okay, let's
All we
not be
do is
that
learn.
dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
it's so boring and dumb. But yeah, so we have that. We have the tale of two kiddos.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, we're back into it now, man. And so like getting ramped up. We got a new listing that I pitched on our live stream. I'm gonna pitch it again because I that's
Yeah.
just what I need to do. Whoever wants to
Hey,
hear
house has
about
got
it.
to sell.
Exactly. 11694 Southwest Jamaica in Wilsonville. It's listed at 560,000. Single level, 3-bed, 2-bath home. If you like it, go for it. Cody is offering. Cody, I'll let you say what you're offering specifically for this house and no other house in the country. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, specifically for this house and maybe other houses. But yeah, so we are for the month of January, our company Residential Mortgage is offering a free 1-year temporary buy down for your interest rate. So for those that are not familiar, what that means is we are paying for you to have a 1% lower interest rate for the first year of your mortgage. So that prepaying the interest for that smaller amount. So depending on what your loan amount is, it can vary, but anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 is about what it equates in interest that's paid by our company. So that's for January right now. So buy Joe's listing and
Yes.
use me, and we'll give you the only specific for you maybe program.
Maybe for any other house you see. But I like to
Yeah,
think that residential mortgage only caters to our listings. So
we just pretty much partner with Joe,
I may or may not, I may or
Skipper
may not
Realty
be
Group.
accurate on that being for everyone else.
Yeah.
But it is a good deal, and I think that we've talked about it in our live this week. But I also think like rates are, whether you like it or not, are reasonable. You can argue with me
Mhm.
all you want about them. You know, anyone wants to argue about it. It's like the 6-ish range for rates is pretty good, and I think if we get in
Yeah.
fives, it's like really good because what's
Yes.
happening is sellers are more willing to offer credit to buy down rate even further. So you're really getting into a good sweet spot for affordability, in my opinion. It may not be what you want to necessarily afford based on a 2.75% rate that you got during COVID. Having said that, I don't foresee, barring anything crazy happening, the rates going much lower than the fives.
Yeah.
If they're not in the fives, but getting much lower than that. Again,
I
like
completely agree. It feels to me like it's the adjustment of inflation. Like we've all kind of adjusted to certain things, whether it's products that we normally buy or food or gas or whatever. And it's like, we've seen gas prices come down. We've seen interest rates come down. It doesn't mean that they're going to be down forever. It doesn't mean that they're going to be high forever. But I do agree. I think there's a point where we're getting closer to that point of we shouldn't really be expecting that they're going to go much lower. I think we do still have room to go lower, and I do anticipate that they will go down lower, but I don't think we're talking about 1, 2 points.
for
I don't
sure,
think we're talking about getting back into that low 4% as a norm. Maybe we do, but that might still be years down the road. So it's
for
kind of
sure.
like that adjustment to what you get used to buying your cereal for whatever $2, and now it's $3 for that same box. And after a while, you're just like, all right, well, I guess
You got
this
to
is
do
just
it.
how it is.
Yeah,
I can't do anything about it. If I want it, I'm gonna have to spend it. And if not, then I guess I'll change my diet plan and
for sure.
not eat this cereal. But yeah, I think the rates, I think we're in a really good spot. I think it will get better, but overall, like there's just going to be that point where, and I think a lot of people have gotten to that point over this last year. This year or last year of 25, I think was the adjustment year for a lot of
Yeah,
people, and
I agree.
26 is going to be that. All right, we've waited long enough, or we got that better job, or we saved the money, or whatever it is.
For sure. To get
So
back
I
onto
don't know.
your
We'll see.
cereal thing is like that's a
Yeah.
week to week decision that's made. And so you adjust to that decision week to week. Housing
Hmm.
market, people don't adjust to the housing market week
Totally.
to week. And so unless it's a significant like, hey, we're offering 2.75%, then they'll react. But what we saw and what we have been seeing since COVID, and that's a long time, is people can turn that buying and selling off pretty easily with a house unless they have to. And so what we've been seeing is rather than a week to week decision like cereal or increasing gas prices, you still got to buy gas week to
Hmm.
week. Houses you don't have to, so we saw that kind of long lag of sellers and buyers kind of say, this year it's not for me. And so that's a year that goes by. Like that's a long time that goes by before
Yeah.
people adjust. And I think we're starting to see, and I can only say anecdotally, but I think that the NAR and all those people are predicting a better 2026. But
Hmm.
that we're starting to see buyers come in and say, we don't necessarily love the rate. However, we're ready. We waited 2
Yeah.
years. We haven't seen rates do anything crazy in those 2 years. And sellers are willing to offer a little bit more to help buy down the rate. His company's offering in January to buy down the rate at 1% for a year. Like these incentives are out there. And I think buyers are starting
Yeah.
to accept that.
I agree. I agree. And I think that, like, so you're bringing up well, I guess we both kind of have the gas thing, the cereal thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that really does, that type of stuff, it could be anything, translates so much to the home market, the buying market, like to anything, right? Like when things are more expensive, you're either going to go out of your way to try to find the cheapest option, or you're just not going to buy it. When things are cheaper, people don't really care. They're like, oh, whatever. I'll buy the organic because it's, whatever.
For
It's
sure.
way cheaper than it was a couple years ago. But as soon as it's the more expensive option, you're like, do I still eat organic, or do I just go back to the other stuff, even though it's, half the price or whatever? I feel like the same thing. It's those same decisions, obviously on a way larger scale of buying and selling homes, where you're like, all right, well, if we don't have to, then we're just going to wait and ride it out. But once that price and payment starts to get close enough to where you're like, all right, I think we could swing this.
Yeah.
Like we've waited long enough. I can't expect that it's going to get back down to wherever it was. Like we were just talking. I was talking earlier today with my one of my coworkers about just home prices, right? Like he was helping a couple out of the coast, and it was like a $250,000 home. Like, man, Isn't that crazy that it didn't feel like that long ago where a $250,000 home was your starter home and,
Yeah.
it's just a normal house. That was 10 years ago. So it wasn't super recent,
Yeah.
but you just look at that stuff and it's like, wow, you put off couple years. When we bought
Yeah.
our first house, kind of going on a random tangent here, but when we bought our first house in 25, I'd been in 2015. I'd been in the mortgage business for 2 years. And so all I had seen was from 2013 to 2015, the housing market was just like, it wasn't booming, but it was improving a lot. Like everything had recovered. And I remember telling my wife, I don't know if we should buy right now. Like home prices are going up and up. And the house that we bought we paid 266,000 for. And I remember thinking at the time, babe, I
We
don't
may
think we
lose
should
on this. Yeah.
yeah, there might be another crash here because home prices have gone up 10% or what. I don't even know what the
For
number
sure.
was,
For
but in
sure.
my mind, I'm like, whoa, this is happening fast. We just got
Yeah.
out of this chaos.
Yep.
But you look back at it, it's always a tough decision on when you're going to buy and where you're going to buy and all that stuff. But it's like, gosh, you look back and I can't imagine that in 10 years from now, home prices have only gone up 2%, 10%,
Yeah.
like it just seems to be one of those things, just like cars now, like you buy a brand new car, it doesn't even matter if it's a Toyota or a Kia, you're still spending 40, 60, 80 grand
For sure.
on a car. So I mean, wages going up, that'll help a lot. But I think we're in this point now where it's like, this is the new norm and it always just takes time to get adjusted to it.
For sure. Yeah. It takes a while to get, especially in housing. It's a big purchase. But I
Totally.
think if you are definitely a long-term holder of properties, you're going to stay 5, 7, 10 years in a house.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty safe bet that you're going to accrue, some wealth in that house, as long as you're not getting completely ripped off. So even if prices kind of went down and up and down and up, I think a buy and hold type of investor or owner is going to generally make money. Like you said, 260 for your house back then. I don't even know what it would sell for right now. Like
Yeah,
you can't buy a house for 260. Like
exactly.
it's very rare. So yeah, so I think people are starting to see, look, if we can afford it, let's go for it. Rates might suck or they may not suck, but it's like if you can
Yeah,
afford it, it's no longer the waiting game that we're seeing. So that's good
totally.
news. I think the market is, I think it's a healthy number. I can say it till I'm blue in the face, but no one listens.
Yeah,
And I get it because people that aren't in the market, that were in the market at 2.75 are like, no, that's not healthy.
right.
It's like, well, it is. Like it ultimately
Yeah.
is. So yeah,
2.75 wasn't healthy either.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
It was
I just,
great, but it
dude,
was not healthy
remember
for the
when
market.
I remember making $150,000 over asking price offers
Oh yeah,
and them saying like, I don't want an inspection. Like if that makes it
right.
look better, I don't want an inspection. Like
Just
I
nuts.
was like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
are you kidding me? It's shocking to think that, and that was the norm. Honestly, when I was
yeah,
in it, I was like, yep, to win this house, we've got
yeah.
to go 100,000, 150. If you don't want it, that's fine. But
Uh-huh.
man, just
Well,
nuts,
and in
nuts.
situations too where it's like one person out of the couple or the family is like, okay, well, I can go look at it, you know,
Yes,
on my lunch break
yes, yes.
because,
We got to make an
you
offer in
can't,
2 hours.
yeah,
Like,
you can't
yeah,
get off work until 5
I
and we
know,
need to see this house. Otherwise it's
I
going to be
know,
gone in 3 hours.
for
And
sure.
like you said, waiving inspection or waiving putting in a big appraisal gap that they're willing to
Yeah, they're
cover
willing to
if it
cover that
comes in
appraisal
low.
gap. Oh man,
But like you said, in the moment of it, it's like, this is just what
we
you
need it.
had to do
Yeah,
to get the
yeah.
deal done. But you look back on it and you're like, holy smokes, that was a nutty time.
It was crazy, crazy
Crazy
time.
what people were doing.
And I remember being, yeah, you as the agent, like if you were an agent that was like, oh, I can't do after 5 or
Oh yeah.
I don't work weekends, it's like you're not going to be in business long because
Yeah.
it was literally like they'd call in the morning, say, can we see it in a couple hours? And it was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, let's go see it in a couple hours and write an offer. Like,
Uh-huh.
so it's crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of New Year, we had talked, if you listened to our old podcast, Cody and I went over kind of some of the things that we kind of want to do in the new year to kind of be better agents, better people, whatever it may be. One of the things that I was wanting to do and am doing is getting more into the AI, like embracing things, trying out new AI equipment or AI programs, different things like that. Some work, some don't. One that I'm working out that I wanted to talk to you about, because you may like this, it's called Fixer AI. And So it
I like
basically
it already.
attaches to your it attaches to your email. And I'm still kind of working out the clunks of it, but it basically reads your emails. It will provide a response that it doesn't send, but it'll provide you a response. So say you say, hey, Joe, I've got, looking forward to meeting you on Friday at 3 o'clock. Does that time work for you? Well, Fixer will read that email, do an AI response. And so when I click on your email, it'll say basically an email back to you saying, hey, Cody, that's great. That time works great. Looking forward to seeing you. Talk soon. And I can just press send versus writing it.
Really?
It basically analyzes each email and tells you and categorizes it to say needs follow up, FYI only, marketing. Like you can adjust all this, but
Yeah.
it categorizes everything. It learns your responses in the emails so that it sounds like you. And what I've noticed, and I've only been using it for the past couple of days, so I'm in my trial period, but it learns how you write. And so basically
Really?
the draft responses that I've seen that are going out to people or going to potentially go out to people sound very similar to how I would look or how I would sound.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy because, unlike ChatGPT or Grok or something like that, where hey, can you help me draft this email? You're always tweaking it because you're like, okay, that sounds super cheesy or not me or whatever. But
Right.
apparently Fixer like analyzes your own emails like back and
Really?
forth. And so then it uses that tempo or that emotion that you normally portray. So it's pretty nuts.
Wow. So it's like an add-on that you have to integrate into your email,
It's not like a
or is it?
Chrome, like add-on or anything. It's not like an extension, but basically
Yeah.
it asks like any other program is like asks for your access, like what email do you want to
Permission.
use
Okay.
and can
Yeah.
we use it?
Yeah.
And then
Huh.
basically it just starts analyzing. So an email comes in,
Really?
it'll say like needs response. When you click on the email, it'll have your draft response ready to go. And
Wow.
you may need to tweak a couple things or whatever, or maybe it doesn't make sense. Like, but yeah, I'm pretty
Wow.
impressed with it. So if you're thinking about it, Fixer AI, like they have a 7-day trial period. I think that we get a discount with EXP. I want to say that it's about 400 a year to have the thing,
Okay.
which is a lot. It's not
Yeah.
a significant. I think you can do monthly, but I think it's closer to 40 or $50 a month to
Okay.
have it after a 7-day trial. So
Yeah.
not inexpensive, but I think if it does what it's been doing for me for the trial period, it could save
Yeah.
hours and hours. Because you think about like you probably do the same thing as I do is you have a response that you want to do, or you go to ChatGPT, or you write an
Hmm.
email, put it into ChatGPT, have them edit it and whatever, then critique that and then send it in,
Yeah.
if this does what it says it's going to do, man,
Right.
like it does it for you. Like it
Totally.
responds how you would respond, analyzes
Uh-huh.
the email that came into it.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting. So anyways, it might be something people want to check out if
Yeah.
they have the time.
Well, and it comes down to the same thing, we always run into it, time versus money. If you can pay a little bit more money and get more time out of your day and be more productive with that other time, whether that's spending time with your family or being more proactive in your work or whatever it is, it's like, heck yeah,
For
if I
sure.
can spend 1 minute to quickly read over this email response, tweak a few words and send it out rather than
Yeah, 10
10
minutes.
minutes of
Yeah, to
typing
do
and
it.
deleting
Yeah,
and typing and deleting and analyzing it and making sure
for
it's all
sure.
good. That's a that's a pretty good amount of savings, especially on a longer email or we're in a response where you need to put in a little more time to it.
For sure.
That's crazy. I'll have to look at that.
So, anyways, yeah, check it out. Yeah, still trying to mess with Grok. I think we talked about it on one of our podcasts. I'm looking at Grok versus ChatGPT. I'm using them
Huh?
both just to kind of see what one does what, and they all have their pros and the cons. I do find that Grok is a little more up to date with things. If you want research done,
Oh, okay.
they do a lot more of like that new. They'll grab new websites, new data from, and probably just because it's connected through X, that they probably have some sort of proprietary thing to gather a little bit more modern or recent data. If you're like, can you look at this or look at this? I think ChatGPT. Maybe it's just because I've used ChatGPT forever. Is that it knows me a little bit better, how I write, how I talk,
Hmm.
how so for script building or for emails, it's ChatGPT seems to be better. But maybe that's just because Grok doesn't know me as well, which is weird to even say because I talk about Grok like it's a dude.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was just saying the other day
You need
with
a little more
Christina.
one-on-one time.
Yeah, with Christina and Rory, I was like, yeah, Grok said this. And like he said, I was like, this is insane to me. how everything's going, that we're just, it's like a
Dude.
personal live assistant, you know?
Yeah. Well, can you
Crazy.
imagine? I mean, I've seen more and more about these like robot, I don't know what else you call them, robots, but like the physical
Oh yeah,
human
yeah,
being type
yeah.
looking robot. And it's like, it's felt like for so long, robots are going to be in when our kids are grown up or something. And
I
now
know,
like how quickly all of it's advancing
for
and
sure.
moving. And
It's
now
going so quick.
I'm seeing videos of like these robots that are running. I'm like, holy smokes, this is no longer like
It's
they're
insane.
rolling around on wheels like
Yeah,
R2D2 kind of look. This is like,
I know, I
hey, you want
know,
to go grab the mail for me really quick,
I
robot? All
know.
right, sweet.
Yeah, well, Elon Musk company, they're building a robot called Optimus,
Really?
and it looks like an iRobot from Will Smith's movie.
Uh-huh.
Like it looks like it, and it like he wants it to be affordable. I think he was mentioning he wants it to be like in the 20s to $30,000, which
Really?
sounds like a lot, but this
Right.
robot, but theoretically, and what his goals and drive is like to be an assistant. Like
Yeah.
it'll do the dishes, it'll clean the house, it'll,
See,
I was like, for $20,000, something that'll just
yeah,
keep our house clean, that's worth it.
seriously.
Like
Exactly.
that's worth it. Like
I hope my wife's not listening because she will
yeah,
be asking for that.
I know, I know. I'm excited about it, but you just it's
Yeah,
developing so fast. But
sure.
anyways, we go off on a tangent. But anyways, I'm still looking into AI. That's my goal for the year. Is kind of I want to be really proficient in the most modern and up to date artificial intelligence to help my business and even my personal life be better. I think I've kind of embraced it in the sense of, some people are very resistant to it, but I just don't think we can resist it. I think a lot of agents I see that are like, AI is never going to do this and this and this. It's like, yeah, maybe, but if you're going to be this person that's like, it
Yeah.
reminds me of an Office episode where Michael Scott like talked about the internet, like he was giving a speech to a class, like college class, and he was talking about how the internet's more of a fad and like, and it was just like it's the same sort of process. It's like everyone's like this AI is not going to
Yeah.
be able to do this. It's like, dude, it is developing faster than anyone ever
Right.
imagined. So we got to stay up on it if we want, I think, our businesses to be thriving. Anyways, you were talking to me about social media. What's your thoughts with what you're going to do with that so that
Yeah,
people
my
can get
social
on
media
your stuff?
game, my social media game has been um very inconsistent. Where I struggle is it's just not part of my daily routine or my nature. I have a hard time
Yeah,
remembering to take
I'm gonna write this
pictures
stuff down
of
because I have my two
yeah,
cents to say.
I have hard enough time taking pictures of my kids' birthdays and family outings and stuff like that. So for me, even trying to remember to whether I'm posting something on the personal side or the work side, like even just thinking about grabbing content naturally instead of like, okay, what am I going to create today or what am I going to do? I want to try to kind of like have some type of mental reminder to just try to document things a little bit more, but also from the work side of it, just being more intentional. I've tried the whole social media calendar thing and I've tried doing it and I realize I think we talked about it a couple episodes ago. I have a hard time with putting things in my calendar and time blocking. If I put it on my list, then I tend to do it when I want to do it, but then certain things get pushed off. So like kind of just having it on the list of the reoccurring things that I want to do just to get out a post or maybe two a week, just to be consistent because I feel like this is probably for everybody, but I know for me for sure, if I can do something, even if it's not super consistent, but it's consistent enough that I'm doing it here and there and thinking about it,
For
then
sure.
I'm no longer like, well, yeah, I need to post something. It's like, okay, what if oh yeah, today's my posting day. So it's like, I don't know, it's like exercise or anything else. The more you do it, the more it's just more of a habit. And so I'm hopeful that I can get into that habit this year because last year was a good starting point for me. And I don't even really remember when I kind of started it, but I know it was sometime last year, maybe the year before. But it's like I got in a good groove, but then I got out of it and it was on my radar, but I just didn't push myself enough. So
Yeah, no, that's
just
good. I
gotta,
think you're not like alone in that world, and I'm in there with you. It's in our industry, and I would argue, and I'm not knocking your industry, but in lending, even more than real estate, which I think is boring, I think lending is
uh-huh.
even worse. Like in
Oh
the
yeah,
sense of like, for content creation, for things that are going to be like, they're very valuable. The real estate world has a lot of valuable content. The lending world has a ton of valuable content, but the person has to be wanting to look at it. No one's like,
yes,
Man, I just want to sit and relax and listen to Joe and Cody like talk about
Right.
real estate. Like,
Yeah.
but when they do, when they are in it, you want to be the person that's in it, right?
Yes.
Like you want to be the
Right.
person that they're like, I do want to talk about this boring topic. Joe knows it, Cody knows it. You know, that's I
Yes.
think in our industry, I think we lose sight of that sometimes of saying, well, it's boring, no one cares. But it's like
Right.
when they do care, they need a dude or they need a girl and they need
Yeah.
someone to like be the knowledgeable one. And I think a lot of agents kind of poo poo their own capabilities off because of that. And I
Hmm.
think that what I've noticed over even the last 6 months is my business has grown significantly just over social media. It's a long term game, it's a
Yeah.
consistency game. But yeah, it does pay off because when people want to pay attention to it, they're going to buy, they're going to sell. They're like, okay, who do I go to? And if your pretty little face is on social media, then that's who they work with.
And it is every time I get on, there's Joe.
I just was
Got
talking to a
something new.
couple people. It was at Roy. It was, and again, I am thinking out loud here. I didn't even remember this, but a couple of people that I haven't talked to in forever, joking that like, "Oh, I see you on social media." I was like, "Yeah, you see me pretty much whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
The algorithms have you. So it's like whether you want to
Yes.
see me or not, I'm there." Which I think is good. It's good that random
Yeah.
people are telling me, "Oh, I see your stuff." Like I'm not looking to buy or sell. You know, I'm like, but
Uh-huh.
I'm there. So it's kind of
Yeah.
good that, and that's what social media does. And I think that's why what people I think in our industry underestimate a lot is I think real estate so than lending. I think lending has a lot of opportunity because once those algorithms grab that you're the lender to go to, I think that can really help push you forward to other lenders. Because I think lenders, in order to be relevant, they do like more of the content creators, you know, versus like the
Yeah.
factual information. So the only
Right.
lenders I see are like those ones that are content creators versus like just good, valuable content, being consistent, being whatever. So,
Uh-huh.
anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing your consistent content. We
Oh,
do.
thank you.
We talked about this. Every Wednesday is kind of my media day where I kind of get to. I enjoy media, so that's my day that I'm like getting to do what I like to do. So I do all my recordings and those sort of things and all that stuff. Generally on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So I would just like my suggestion, not to you. I'm talking to the peeps out there listening. Any lenders or business owners or anything, is just kind of pick some time that's like your time to do that. And like you said, Cody, it's a habit.
It is.
Two things, not for you, Cody, but for everyone else, because I know you and I talk about this stuff on the regular. But my suggestion to people getting into the social media realm is to start small in it.
Hmm.
Think that you need to do 3, 4, 5 posts a day. You know, you have all these influencers. I remember listening to them. They're like, if you're not doing stories 7 or 8 times a day and you're not posting 3 or 4 times a day, you're going to fail. And I'm like, how does that? I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I
Right.
can't, like, even if I love social media, I have a job, I have a business
Uh-huh.
to run. And I
Yeah.
remember being like, man, I'm just not going to be successful at that. Like, because if I can't do 7 or 8 stories a day, I'm done. Like, and so I kind of like went to the wayside years ago and was like, I'm just not good at it, whatever. But it's not
Uh-huh.
the case. Like,
Yeah.
block out the noise, start at like one a week if that's all that you can do, and then move on from there. That's my ultimate advice to people like kind of getting into the social media realm. Do not feel like it's a long-term game in social media. It's not a fast
Hmm.
game. So don't think that even if you did 7, 8, 9 posted a week that all of a sudden you're going to get, you know, like 45 leads, because it's probably not likely to happen for a long time, whether you post once or whether you post 8 or 9 times. I know that might not be a popular opinion with maybe some social media influencers, but we're not social media influencers, right?
No, we're not.
We're
No,
just
nope, we're not.
schmucks that sell real estate and buy real estate, right?
Yeah. I think that the one thing that I, in my very insignificant time on creating anything, the one best thing that I ever heard somebody say too was just post it.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I
For
mean,
sure.
I will overanalyze my
We
own
all do.
stuff. I won't
Yep.
think twice about what you put out there or what anybody else
I
puts out
know.
there. But if I'm like, did I have like a little bit of a
What if
lisp
they
when I
think
said that
this?
word?
What's that
Yeah,
on my shirt? What's that on my,
yeah,
like, okay, I just won't do that one.
right. Oh,
Like,
like the red thing is not right above my head,
for
but like it
sure.
needs to be
For
over
sure.
here. You know, it's
Yeah,
like so easy to critique it. And I feel like
absolutely.
when I first started doing it, and I was like, I still don't know what I'm doing, but it's like I just post it, and then it's out there, and you're like, oh,
That was easy.
all right, hey,
Yeah.
nothing happened. Like
Yeah.
I
No
didn't
harm.
die because the
No
video
harm.
wasn't very good.
For
And
sure.
now I go back and I look at some of the first stuff that I did, and I was like, wow, it looks really bad, but I don't care.
But I don't care. But dude, oh man, do not go back. Like I went back once to my old ones. I was like, oh my, this is the
Yeah.
cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. So bad. Not only was there a point just by the way that I was like bigger than I wanted to be, like
Uh-huh.
my face is like a little pig. So what is going on? So anyways, yeah. Don't go back for a while. Once you're like good
Yes.
and you got things honed in, then go back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But on your note though, like on a serious note, is I think it goes to not comparing yourselves to others. Like I
Yeah.
think in social media, it is so easy, and I remember, and I still get this way, but I remember being super insecure and being like, look at that person out there, just dominating.
Mm.
Like they've got a
Yeah.
house to list, they've got a house to buy. Especially when you're new, you're like,
Sure.
they've got something to post about. Like, and what I did, and I still do, just for the community now, and it helps my brand, is like go to an agent and ask if you can highlight their house, their listing. Like do things that like you don't have to have your own listing. You don't have to have your own, but just go ask agents. If agent is good, they should be giving you that listing and saying, "Yes, please market it."
Yeah.
Because if the agent is doing for their client, they should be allowing it to be marketed to
Mm.
anyone anywhere. So most agents should be like, yeah, I got a new listing, go for it. Like take it. I'll talk to my sellers. You guys can go through, go do a recording, and so anyways,
Yeah.
long story short, don't compare yourself to others. Like it's just not good. I think we've talked about this before. I don't follow a lot of real estate agents, not because I don't like them, not because I
Yeah.
have a few friends in the industry that I follow because we're friends, but I
Uh-huh.
don't wanna see. The more I see agents
Yep.
and it just gets in your head and you're like, "Well, I don't do that," or "I didn't do that with that house," or "I didn't do that
Totally.
with this one," or "They do this so much better," or, it's
Uh-huh.
like, don't even worry about it because people
Yep.
will like you for you no matter what
Yeah.
how cheesy or dumb or funny or whatever you are. There's a personality
Uh,
out there that matches, but I don't
well,
know
and
if
I
you have
think that
similar
that goes
thoughts or no.
into self-image stuff in general, right? You look in the mirror. I don't know about you. I look in the mirror every once in a while. And I'm like, I guess I kind of forget that that's what I look like. Like in my
Yeah,
brain of
yeah, you
going
have it in
throughout
your own
life,
head.
yeah, I
For
view
sure.
myself as different, and then you look in the mirror, and it's never like, wow, I'm so much better looking than I feel like I am. You're always like, I am starting to get a little bit of gray
I
in
thought I
here.
was better looking than this. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. But it's the same thing with social media. And so it's like my reminder to myself that I have to continue to do is like I am what everybody sees me as. So even though I see me there and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird, or I sound different, or I talk different, or
For
whatever it
sure.
is, I'm like, that's how everybody sees me. That's very normal for people to see me like that. But when I see it, I'm like, oh,
I know.
that's just weird. But
Yeah, you
it's a
definitely have something
weird
in your
like
head.
brain warp.
For sure. No, I get that. So I don't know. We got on the social media realm, but I think, yeah, I think that's 2026. I think is a good time, especially with the market picking up, to kind of get on. If you are thinking about social media, Cody and I both are resources. If you kind of don't know what to do or don't know even where to start, like we've been doing this for a while now, we still are learning and still screwing up left and right, but we may be even one step ahead of you, and we can help you out with to
Yeah.
not make the mistakes we made.
Yes.
But yeah, I've enjoyed the podcast. Like part of it, both of you and I were like, look, not only do we get enjoyment out of it because we put out good content for people and people that might want to listen to it or buying or selling, or maybe we can help them, but also it does help your influence out there in the world and your presence out there. So it kind of serves two purposes. But we got into it because we do want to just kind of chat about the market, help anyone that might have a say in it. There's nothing to try to. We don't do this solely just to get clients.
Right.
But yeah, we kind of chose areas that were like, this is how I want to market our business, and so yeah,
And it's
whatever
kind
you
of
choose.
evolved too. We've
Yeah, absolutely.
we've interviewed business owners,
Yeah,
we've talked about random market things, we've talked about, goals and things that haven't worked well. And so it's like I think that's what I enjoy about it too, is it just feels like it's like we're having our own little meeting about
for sure.
work and life, and it's fun to bring other business owners in there too and kind of get their perspective on things. So I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think so too. I think like there is some like, some people were like, what are you focusing on? What's your podcast about? Like, and I
yeah.
think we've adjusted as needed. And I think don't be afraid to adjust as needed.
Mhm.
We used to do like weekly interviews with business owners, and we still enjoy doing that, but also I think like it's easier and it's like more beneficial for us to kind of talk about the market and talk about things
Yeah.
like that. It allows kind of a group of people, whether you're a lender, whether you're an agent, whether you're looking to be one, or you're a buyer and seller, everyone can listen to it and get something out of it, hopefully. So we kind of
Sure.
wanted to make it that way to where it's not so hyper focused. And I think podcasts are leaning towards that anyways, like that. They're
Mhm.
just kind of, the people want to hear you guys, people chat. That's the podcast I listen to, is people that just kind of talking like
Right.
about random
Yeah.
stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, always adapting, but I don't know where we're going. Like, speaking of just talking about random stuff, we've been talking for
Right.
like almost 40 minutes of what I think is
Which
like,
is,
what did we cover?
I think next week maybe we should talk about like pirates.
Yeah, that's a good
I've
idea.
always been fascinated
Or
with
we can
pirates.
recap what we went over today, which was we don't know. So we'll have to listen to our own podcast to find out what we talked about. But yeah, so if you guys are interested, subscribe, like our podcast, Venture with Joe and Cody. We'd love to have you on if you are a business owner that is starting up in 2026. If you've been in business for a long time and want to just kind of market yourself, like, you can come on our show just to talk about your business and talk about, what you provide. We'd love to chat with you. If you just want to kind of get on the show and hang out with us, we don't care. We'll be fine to have it. So
We like to hang.
yeah, so just reach out if you are a buyer or seller, and you guys have questions, particularly about your place or buying a new place. Then Cody and I are happy to help. So leave a comment on whatever venue you're watching us on or listening to us on. We'd be happy to reach out to you and chat with you about that. But yeah, it's looking forward to a new 2026,
Yeah.
a new year 2026. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, looking forward to it. We're looking forward to this podcast, hopefully helping some people down the road, whether you're a business owner or buyer seller, and helping our world, real estate world, be a smarter place for it. So
Heck yeah.
I think that's it, man. I think that's all I
What we
got for you.
do. I like it.
Well, until next week, it was good chatting with you. Happy New
You as
Year,
well.
and we'll get on to the next one next week.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. See you, bro.
All right, man. See ya.